boy.
That's it.
Oh boy.
Whitney Way Thor stood before a salon mirror, spinning slowly as the afternoon light stretched across the room. She hardly recognized the reflection looking back at her, not because it was unfamiliar, but because she'd grown used to seeing herself through past pain, anger, and the weight that had defined her for most of her adult life. But here she was, lighter by 100 pounds, without surgery, with grief fueling momentum instead of despair. Her face had sharpened, her silhouette felt smaller, and yes, occasionally entirely disorienting. Returning to ballet after so many years after transformation was more than a class. It felt like reclaiming a piece of her soul. She entered the studio like a trembling debutante. The bar gleamed in polished wood. The mirrored walls promised truth. Ballet students in flowing leggings moved in measured lines, euphoric in control. Whitney's heart skipped. She hadn't taken ballet in over 2 decades. The label fatter still felt like a suit she wore, awkward, ill-fitting. She hugged the bar. Her instructor, Sarah, introduced herself. "Whenever you're ready," Sarah said softly. Whitney's first ply was shaky. Her body protested. But something stirred beneath, the familiar pull of movement, the memory of owning her space through dance. Between movements, doubt nudged. What if I don't look right? What if I'm the awkward one here? But Sarah walked over and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "That was beautiful," she said. And meanwhile, something shifted inside Whitney. She wasn't broken. She was returning. After class, Whitney sat alone in the studio lobby. Emotions tangled, relief, nostalgia, embarrassment. In a confessional, she said softly, "I'm in a smaller body now, and I know that might sound laughable to some, but it feels kind of weird. I haven't had to check if I fit in a booth or chair for 2 years. It's still disorienting." But there, under studio lights, the flicker of something else emerged. "Dance is the way I feel physically real." She wiped her eyes. Back home, Whitney's mother reminded her of childhood recitals. Her father spoke of her sparkling confidence. She practiced in her living room, tendu at the coffee table, arabesque against the back of the couch. The floor creaked beneath her, but she felt anchored. She filmed a video, tweeting, "Dance is accessible to every person and every body. You don't need permission." A sub. Because it wasn't just movement. It was permission, finally granted to herself. One morning in class, Whitney glanced at her reflection and remembered hurt voices. Body shaming, self-shaming, shame for daring to occupy space. She stopped dancing. Sarah stepped forward. "Your talent isn't diminished by your form." Tears welled. The mirror no longer derided. It held her, humanity reflected back. Then she danced. Not perfectly but beautifully, honestly. Weeks passed. Whitney returned to ballet again and again. Each class became an anchoring ritual. She felt strength in muscles that had grown cold, delight in movement that learned new ways of being. Her body, smaller and unfamiliar, began to feel like home rather than a place of exile. She posted again. "I don't need the scale to define me. I need movement, connection, art, grit." Several weeks later, Whitney performed a simple routine in that same studio. Arabesques, plies, joyful spins. Not for show but for herself. The mirrors showed faith, solid, grounding. Her body moved with honesty. Her soul echoed in rhythm. At the bar afterwards, Sarah said, "I don't understand why you think you need permission, you belong here." Whitney nodded, breath trembling. Later that night she posted, "I'm not that girl in the mirror from a decade ago. But I am still her, with new lessons. Ballet taught me I can come back. After grief, after transformation, after everything. Ballet's life isn't about spectacle. It's about returning and still choosing to move." Dance hadn't abandoned her. She had found her way home.